Yeah, I think selection was particularly difficult. I think over particularly the last 4 and a bit years, we've always had tough decisions to make, and I think everybody was left out. It was a tough call. I think the standard that has been produced, skill level, since guys have come together, has been exceptional. It's been way above the standard that I expected, given the time that we had off. But certainly those two guys you mentioned were unlucky to miss out along with others. I think we're blessed at the moment with a high caliber group of top order batters, not only in the first 11 or best team, but also sitting in the wings, and even guys that will play this series. You know, the guys that are left out probably need some injuries there, call-ups. So I think it's a product of having a consistently strong team over the last period of time. It's allowed players to spend more time at county cricket. So your highly talented players aren't playing a handful of county games and then automatically being called up to the national team. They spend longer than they normally would, fine-tuning their skills and gaining that valuable experience. So by the time that they get called up, they actually know their games a lot better than, I suppose, a lot of the guys I played with. And for me personally as well, I didn't play a lot of county cricket or have years and years of experience. So I think it's a huge positive, even though it's bad news for the guys that have missed out. We had no difficulties. We actually found it to be a lot more productive than training as a group. So moving forward, it actually might change the shape of our training. I know at Middlesex, before I came into the bubble, we found the exact same thing. Although it being very time consuming for all the coaches and all the staff, facilitating players on an individual basis was extremely productive. So it's going to be something that we will look at in more depth when we come to our review of this period. But I know guys have enjoyed it. So when we've come together as a team, it's obviously been a bit more emphasised on doing things as a collective. Yeah, having spoken to some of the test guys about their experience, which is obviously very different, but there are moments in test cricket where, you know, then the first test match, the last day, when we're trying to bowl them out and Joffer bowled a quick spell, you know, normally you'd have the Barmy Army going mad and spurring everybody on. It's just part and parcel of home advantage or just playing in a really tight game. So I think there will be different challenges throughout. I think fielding will be one of them. Not gearing yourself up, but maintaining that standard of, yes, you were playing in an international game and there is a level of expectation on everybody and the standard that we need to upkeep. I think that will be one of the huge challenges in keeping the intensity. Yeah, it's obviously the start of the new qualification period for the next World Cup. I think always at the start, I'm quite reluctant to make a judgment until we actually see what that is like and experience what that is like. I think giving opportunities to play more series on a shorter basis is a good thing. I think for a long time now I've talked about having tri-series on shorter basis because it's trying to replicate an ICC tournament. You know, you go into must-win games and there's a final stage or top of a group and then a final stage, as opposed to just purely bilateral series. But we'll see how these next few series we play go, and I think I'll have probably form a more constructive or objective opinion by then, as opposed to jumping to it. I would rather be in that position than not winning and having to fight to find a winning formula. I think winning last year has given our guys a huge amount of confidence in the process, strategy and planning by which we went through over a 4-year period. So it allows us to go into every World Cup with that strategy and forward thinking, and you know, that contributing along the way the whole time and trying to continually get better. Seeing the finished product last year was obviously an eye-opener for everybody that hadn't won a World Cup to date. But also it creates a level of expectation everywhere we go, and that's one that sits well with some of our guys, but for a lot of our guys, they haven't experienced that. So it's important to recognise what's expected of us moving forward, because we want to win more trophies. I think initially it was a tough one. I only had 10 days off after the World Cup final, and then went back to play with Middlesex and sort of trudged my way through the rest of the T20 Blast campaign with a sore, stiff, heavily medicated back. So the first question is, can I be physically fit enough to continue on, and also have a look at my captaincy and my contributions as a batsman throughout the team. So having taken time after the Blast finished, it actually became clearer what the next couple of years looked like after I could answer the questions about my back.